Hey, hey, hey. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, y'all. Hey, Donnie. Make sure y'all say something when y'all come in here because I want to see. See, we're going to have to do this a different way because I want to see y'all. It's lit. Kids. The lit kids. Hi, baby. Hi, TT. Hey, Aunt. I'm excited. I'm excited, y'all. It's been a long time coming. Oh, that's Sanaya. Why is AT on there? Hi, Nye. Hi, Auntie Baby. They on YouTube. I'm not doing Instagram because Instagram was giving me such a hard time. I'm gonna have to try to figure something out for Instagram. But I did post the YouTube link. And I'm gonna give people a couple minutes to come on in here and see what's happening. Is that my daddy? Hi, daddy. I'm excited about it. I am excited to dive in. I'm doing good, Dad. How you doing today? Hi, Annalise. Hey, girl. I'm excited. I'm about to have a conversation. You're more than welcome to come in and join us with my tribe. Which I got to drink. I got some limeade. Hold on for a second. Let me text Keish. Okay. That's good, Dad. Annalise, how you doing? What y'all drinking? Or what y'all eating? I should have said snacks, because I'm not really. I should have got some snacks. What y'all drinking? What y'all eating? I got some limeade and some water. You got water, Nye. Anthony got water. Okay. I love you, Dad. You are okay. And you're going to be okay. Bean got water. Okay. Everybody got water. It looks like everybody's sipping on some water and minding their business. I can appreciate that. Chicken fingers, fries, and Pepsi. Ooh. That sounds delicious. All right, one more minute. We're going to get started. So I don't want to keep y'all too long. My goal was like 30 minutes or so. Hey, sis. What you drinking? We got water in the building. Got Pepsi. We got I got limeade. Infused water. Okay. All right. Well, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. So, y'all, I posed the question in the video introduction for this live, and I said, how many people have ever heard or said the phrase, "Don't talk to me like that. I'm not a kid." Let me see some hands, some hearts. You can grape crush. Daddy drinking grape crush and got Reese cups. If you heard the phrase or use the phrase, "Hey sis, what you drinking?" Yes, Donnie used the phrase. Anybody else use that phrase or heard that phrase? Don't talk to me like that. I'm not a kid. Water. Denise drinking water and minding her business. Lots of waters in the house. Okay. I know I have. I've said it. I've heard it. And what I began to realize was that that phrase right there, "don't talk to me like that. I'm not a kid." If we unpack it, we can get down to the root of how we see children, our perspective of children. So I want you all to comment below, and I'm going to ask, what does that phrase tell us about the way that we think of children? So when you hear the phrase, "don't talk to me like that, I'm not a kid," how does that translate to how we see children? And I'll go first. For me, it sends the message that kids can take anything that we say to them. Donnie said we belittle them. We talk to them anyway, any kind of way. Okay. Anybody else? And I just that I've recently heard somebody say that and it really bothered me. And I'm like, okay, why do children deserve to be talked to in a way that we don't like? Because we will be quick to say, "Don't talk to me like that. I'm not a kid." But why do children deserve to be talked to like that? The question was, what does this phrase tell us about how we view children? We're taking their voice. Yes, Keisha. You guys can talk to us any kind of way. Okay. These are very, very good. You make us feel some type of way when you guys say that. Thanks, Nye. Like, what's the type of way, though? Can you explain that? I know for me, it was like that at a time. I didn't think about how they felt. Okay. Me too. Me too. Not at all. Children are less than us. Ooh, that's good. So the whole purpose of this live, it makes us feel like we don't matter or something. So the whole purpose of this live is just that I want you all, including me, I want us all to start thinking about the way that we view children. Hi, TT. The way that we view children, and often our behaviors indicate what we think of them. So one example is when I grew up, I felt like kids were supposed to be seen and not heard, right? Or no, not seen or I don't know if we wasn't supposed to be seen and not heard, or not seen and not heard, because I just felt like we were always like made to feel like we were in the way, especially when were around like a bunch of adults. Like, y'all go. I don't want to see y'all. I don't want to hear y'all. Y'all go. Y'all go in the back room or go outside or whatever, what have you. If anybody's had that experience, go ahead and heart, put your hand up, say me, something. Don't make me feel like I'm out here by myself, y'all. Yes, Denise, facts on God, my God. Yes, okay. Okay, Donnie, yes. Right? And as I've had this journey, most of you know that I've been on a journey of as an educator for the last 7 years. Yeah, yes, it has been that long. 7 years. And what I'm beginning to understand, which I have never understood before, that children are really like little grown people. Like they're just like us. Like they have feelings. Like they want to be seen. They want to be respected. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't wait until I got grown to sit around the adults. Yes. Because it was like, nah, we was not welcome. Most of all, didn't want to be bothered. Yes. Absolutely. Hey sis. And yes, I agree. Hey. Um so some of the examples that I put down here of how we see children versus how I'm learning to see them, and I want y'all to come with me on this journey, okay? Yes, and people don't think the same way about kids. Yes. Y'all have feelings, y'all want to be seen, y'all want to be respected, y'all want to be heard, and not only do y'all want to, but y'all deserve to. Like, kids deserve to be seen, they deserve to be heard, they deserve to be loved, they deserve everything that we deserve as adults. So some of the examples that I that I put down here, and how we identify children, is, I was sitting here thinking about it and I was just like, wow. Wow. So for instance, we are so quick to call a kid nosy. Anybody have a kid that you were just like, dang, like you nosy? I actually heard that in our group today. Like, dang, you nosy. But what if we could reframe that thought? Instead of calling them nosy, how about if we recognize that they were actually just being curious? Curiosity. We are curious. They're also curious. Today. They are curious. They want to know things. They want to find out things just like we do. How about when we call them smart mouth? Got a smart mouth. Instead of saying that they are articulate or expressive. Kids have gifts just like we do. And I think as an adult who has impact over children, it's our job to pull out those gifts. So if you notice that a child is very expressive in their language, let's pull that out of them. Maybe they'll be a speaker. Maybe they'll be a lawyer. Like who really knows but God? Like, I think it's our job as adults to not stifle those gifts. And I think we stifle it when we call them demeaning names like nosy or bad. You always in something. Who heard that before? You always in something. Go sit down. You always in something. Right? No, they're just explorative. Like they want to explore. That's what children do. They explore. How about if we start to reframe our thinking? And I'm not telling you that it's going to happen, change overnight, but I just want to give you ideas of how children work. Like they work just like we do. We call them bossy. You ain't the boss of me. Stop being so bossy. Ain't nobody gonna want to play with you because you so bossy, right? You ain't gonna have no friends because you so bossy. You always want to tell somebody what to do. Yes, they seeking to understand, Keish. Yes. How about if we said that they were leaders? How about if we started to perceive them as leaders and not bossy? I gotta fix this camera because I can't read the comments. Yeah, but when I grow up, do it. It's inquiry reminds us to know so that I don't know what you're saying. I'm having a hard time. You describing one specific child, man. But I'm just saying, like, what if we start to reimagine kids? You know what I'm saying? And some people say they are mean. We call kids mean real quick, especially when they don't want to share their stuff, or if they don't want to hug somebody or want people in their personal space. And it's not that they mean. Sometimes it's just that they have boundaries and they're not comfortable. I remember watching this video a few years ago that my cousin posted. I was probably like 1 or 2, probably 2, closer to 2. And we was at my great grandmother's house for Easter. And my cousin, who's the same age as me, trying to hug me. And I'm like, no. And I'm pushing him, like, no. And they like, stop being so mean. Give him a hug. Like, bro, like, it's my space. They're not being mean. They have boundaries. Sometimes they don't want to share their stuff. And that's okay too. At a certain age, like, you know what I'm saying? But we have to reimagine how we see children. Some kids have imaginary friends, and we real quick to call them crazy. Or they see stuff and be playing with their fingers or whatever. We real quick to call them crazy. And it's like, no, they have an imagination. That's what they're supposed to do. Children are supposed to imagine. They're supposed to be curious. They're supposed to have boundaries. It's hard. Their mouths is crazy. What you supposed to do? I feel like you accept that behavior. You accept that behavior. Ain't you supposed to check it? It depends. Actually, it depends on the age of the child, and it depends on the circumstances. So sharing is a very good thing. But do they always have to share? No. Do you always want to share your stuff? No. I know I don't always want to share mine. Absolutely not. Oh, we call kids annoying all the time. You are so annoying because they're doing something that is actually annoying us. Instead of saying like, you know what, I'm annoyed. We identify them as being annoying. Being annoying. A lot of that nonsense has been passed down to us from generation to generation, and whenever questioned our parent question and we never questioned our parents parenting. When I think back on some things I was not allowed to say or do, absolutely made no sense. For sure, for sure. And that's why I'm here. Because I feel like for the most part, at some degree or another, like our parents didn't have the tools. You know what I'm saying? Their parents were surviving. It was like survival of the fittest. So they come from parents that were just surviving. So they didn't have the tools. And I feel like that's kind of the reason why I'm here, so that we can gain the tools together and we can be better as a result of it. Better parents, better educators, better siblings, better aunts and uncles. Like, we can do it. My daughter is 4 and she don't like to share. My nieces call her mean and being mean. Yeah, she doesn't have to. She doesn't have to. She doesn't have to share. I wouldn't make her share. Now, if you want to, we can get into strategies later, but I just want to say this. Now, if you want to have a set of toys that everybody can play with, that's not just hers, then those are the things that she has to share. She can play with them too, but she has to share. But for her specific toys, I personally would not make her share them if she doesn't want to. Because that could be very traumatic. Like, kids hold things, some kids hold things like really, really close to their heart. I remember working with these kids not too long ago, and one of the children made a picture and gave it to another child. That child's mom was there when the child gave her the picture and was like, "Oh, that was very sweet. Give her one of your pictures." And she was like, "No." And her mom made her give her a picture, and she was just like hysterical. And we're like, wait, wait, wait. Like, please don't make her give her picture away. Like, it's her work, and clearly she clearly hold it very close. She values her work, and she does not want to give it to somebody. No, it's not. It's actually not a time to share. Not a time to talk about sharing. Not when she's emotional and wanting her stuff. The time to talk about sharing is when everything is calm. When y'all having bedtime or bedtime stories or family time, you talk about if sharing is something that you value as a family, that's when you do it. Not when it's chaotic and she trying to hold on to her stuff and you trying to force her and this other child is standing there like, what just happened? Like, not that's not the time. We add these things in our daily life. We add our values. Whatever it is that you value, you do those things when the child is in a regulated state. Dinner time, dinner conversations, any other conversations, reading books, maybe bathtub time. I think also that parents can be teaching their child. If someone gives you something, you have to give them something back. Yeah, and that's not okay. That's like a recipient. Who wants to be? Ain't nobody got no time for no transactional relationships. I know I don't. I know I don't. For real. So, like I said, like the whole point of these lives is to just like get us thinking, being more aware of not only the thoughts that we think about children, but what we say to them. Because some of the things that people be saying to kids is just like so disheartening, like for real. And it's like, yo, like, this is a person. Like, They are people. Like they feel, they hurt just like we do. All right, let's see what else do I have here. Um some people, I've seen this a lot, especially like within the Black community that I grew up in. Like if a child is touching themselves, they're being called nasty, especially like little kids, like between the ages of 2 and like 6 or 7. They touch themselves, they're being called nasty. No, they're not nasty. They're learning their bodies. And we can kind of guide them in that process because it's not nasty. Kids don't think a lot of the things that we think as adults. We've had a lot of experience. Kids are very pure. We've had a lot of experiences. So when kids do certain things or say certain things, our mind automatically go to the more mature, or the more experienced idea. And if we just stop for just a moment and just be like, okay, what does that mean? Or what are you doing? What's your plan? We can understand from their perspective, not from our experiences. Yes. Asking what's wrong with them can be tricky, especially from kids who already have trauma, because what's wrong with you indicates that there is something that you've done wrong. So I would try to rephrase that question as what happened? Do that make sense? What's wrong with you? I know you heard that before, and you be like, "What's wrong?" Don't even want to talk. Like that's why I try not to ask what's wrong with you, because it can be triggering for some kids, especially kids who have had trauma. Yeah, sometimes they say what you do, what what do you mean? What does that mean to you? Absolutely. Thank you, Nai. Um, let's see, what else do I have here? Oh my goodness. Kids, we call these kids bad because they do stuff. Mostly because, especially with the younger kids, they call it terrible twos or whatever, whatever. They call them bad because they always in something, or because they running, or because they whatever. Kids are not bad. They are not bad. What's wrong with you, child? They are not bad. Every behavior, let me just say this, and if you taking notes, write this down. Every behavior that a child has is them trying to get a need met. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. Every behavior that a child has, it's because they are trying to get a need met. Yes, we have to be careful not to make them start feeling shame. Yes, absolutely. Shame grows with you if it is not corrected. Absolutely. Absolutely. And we'll get into like non-violent communication. That's one of our weeks. How you can speak to a child in a way that's not blaming or shaming. Every behavior that a child has, it is an indication of a need that they are trying to get met. I have this one child that comes to mind. He would, whenever he sees somebody building something, he would go over and just knock the whole thing over. And they would be so mad, upset at him. Until one day I said, "Hey, come here. I noticed that you knocked that over. Is that because you wanted to rebuild it with them? You wanted to play with them? He said yes. I said, well, how about if you just go over to them and ask them if you can play with them? He knocked it over because he knew that we would make him help them rebuild it. And he wanted to build it with them. Okay? Sometimes children's behavior is because they don't know how to express the need. They don't know how to articulate the need. He wanted to build it, so he knocked it down. This same child, I would notice like if somebody was in the sand pit, because he loved the sand pit, and playing in the same sand pit, he would grab sand and just like throw it in their face. Did you want to play in the sand pit by yourself? Is that the reason why you threw sand in her face so that she can get out and clean her face? Or is it that you wanted to play with her? I wanted to play by myself. You can use your words. You can ask if you can play in the sand pit by yourself. Every behavior is a child trying to indicate a need. And we as adults have to pay attention to the signs to help them figure out what they need so that they can then use their language instead of the behavior. Does that make sense? All right. I don't want to give y'all too much. But I'm just gonna give y'all a list real quick. If y'all taking notes, I want y'all to write this down of the needs. So when a child is acting out or having like unpleasant behaviors, there's 8 needs that I have down here. One is basic needs. Hungry, thirsty, something like that. Not feeling well. The second is information. They need to know something. They want to know something. 3 is boundaries. Children need boundaries. I was pushing key in, okay? I'm like, no, I don't want to hug. That behavior of me pushing him was trying to get him to understand that I needed a boundary. 4, children need recognition and attention. And I want to pause right there. I only want to give y'all those 4, and we'll cover the next 4. But another thing that I've recognized within our community, well, the Black community that I grew up in, is that adults make children feel ashamed of needing attention. Like we will say, oh, he only want attention. There's nothing wrong with that. However, we can teach a child that when they want attention, they can ask for it. We can stop the behavior and use our language. Because children do things, right? And you can tell most times, like you can tell when a child just wants your attention, but we shame them for that. We want attention as grown adults. Like we want attention and recognition. It is a need. It is a human need. They need it too, and they shouldn't be made to feel ashamed because they need attention. You can tell when a child, especially when they keep coming to you. Okay, all right. Maybe I need to put my phone down. Maybe I need to turn off this TV. it really seems like you need my attention. What do you want to do? I noticed that you keep coming back and forth. I noticed that you keep tapping me instead of me telling you stop. I noticed that you're tapping me, so it seems like you really need my attention. What do you want to do? What you want to do? Want to play? Want to read? You want to cuddle? What you want to do? You got my attention. Here's my attention because you matter to me. You know what you feel and what you need matter to me. We have to become okay with being vulnerable with kids. They need it. That's all I'm going to leave y'all with today because I feel like that we covered a lot. And if you taking notes, write this down too, okay? Because I want y'all to do some homework. I want y'all to do some homework, okay? I really want, and it's nothing, there's no shame attached to this, okay? What I really want y'all to do is start to think about the words that you speak and how you view a child. Let me tell y'all this one story before y'all go. So we had this girl in our school. She was the oldest girl. And I would in my mind, I would be calling her a mean girl because of the way that she talked to some of the girls, how she was very exclusive toward one girl, like she didn't want to play with her, or she would say things like, well, you really don't want to play because, like, very manipulative, like you really don't want to play because it's really not that fun. And in my mind, I started calling her a mean girl. And I was just like praying one day and I'm like, God, what is this child like? And I don't want to feel this way about nobody kid because I was starting to not like her because of the story that I was rehearsing, the identity that I was giving her. And I was starting not to like her. And it took me all down my childhood trauma with being bullied and beat up and like not being able to go outside and all of this stuff. And I'm like, Lord, what is it? And then I started paying attention to what I was thinking about her. Every time I seen an interaction that I did not like from her, in my mind, I was saying mean girl. Mean girl. And as a result of what I thought of her, I would treat her mean. I would. And I felt so bad about it. And then I'm like, okay, well, how can I change my perception of her? Like, Lord, how can I see her the way that you see her? And he said that she's a leader. She's not bossy. She's not a mean girl. She really is like a leader, but she needs help developing that. She needs some guidance with that. So we talked it over as a team and stuff like that. And then we began to allow her to like teach classes because she's very artistic. And she would make lanterns and like all kind of stuff. So we would like, yo, you want to teach an art class? We give her positions for leadership and then guide and model to her how to talk to them. Like she'd be like, no, that's not how it go. Like, okay, pause. Because I think that you can say that in a more loving way, in a more gentle way or calm way. You know, so for homework, I just want you to reflect, and I want you to also put some notes and be honest about what you think about the child that you're writing about. Like in the moment. Maybe you're thinking like, damn, like this kid bad as hell. Write it. And what was they doing? What was the behavior that made you have that thought? I want y'all to journal, like for real. I want y'all to pay attention this week. And it's not shaming or anything like that. I just want you to get an understanding of what you think. Does that make sense? Ain't nobody talking to me. I feel like I'm out here by myself. Well, that's why you have conversations, Tichara. Like you can say, like, I noticed that you need my attention. I can give you my attention. Let's do something. And then explain to them, like, after we do this, then I'm gonna go do this and have them know what the expectation is for after the attention time. Okay, so we're gonna play this game. You wanna play this game? Let's play this game. Now, after this game, I'm gonna need to go back and wash the dishes in the kitchen, and you can go clean your room, or you can go play with your toys, or you can go like whatever it is. You have to set up the expectation of what so that they know what's expected of them. Not that you gonna sit there and just like play with them all day long, because that's not possible. I remember, let me just tell y'all, okay, this one last story, and then I'm getting off here because I don't want to hold y'all. Um, so I had my niece and my nephew one day for like, I grabbed them and it was like 2 weeks or something like that. Now, my one nephew, he's very animated, I would say. I would call it animated. He might be like an actress or voiceover or something like that when he grow up. He's very animated and all his play is very loud, is very animated. If he is pretending to be a lion, it is the realest lion I've seen. It is raw on all fours, running, jumping. And I remember one day he was just like playing and playing and playing and I had no idea what to do. Like I could not handle it any more. And I sat on the floor and I grabbed him very so softly, so gently, and I said, "Please stop." I said, "Please stop." And he did. He did. But I say all of that to say that you can create boundaries. And what I did from there on, I would give him time to play. I will let him know, like, okay, this is time, especially while I'm cooking dinner because I will be in my zone anyways. So I'd be like, okay, this is the time where you can, play this. And then after that, we're gonna eat. After your playtime, we're gonna eat. And then after dinner, we're gonna read a story. So you can create boundaries, but you also have to meet their need. Does that make sense? And like some kids don't think the older people don't understand them. Understanding is really can be really challenging because just because you say you understand that doesn't mean that you technically understand or that you show that you demonstrate understanding. But we'll talk about that another time. But I want y'all to get into this homework and we're going to discuss it next week. Please journal, write what you think, like for real, for real. Like what you see when you look at when you look at your children or the children that's connected to you, whether you're a mom or a cousin or a teacher or whatever, what have you. I want y'all to be honest about what you believe about the children that are connected to you because there is a link between what we believe and how we treat them. We treat them how we believe what we believe about them. So, again, the whole purpose of this live is to just get us thinking, change our perspective, a little bit. All right. Thank y'all for joining me. I really appreciate it. This has been really, really, really good for me. It has. It has been really, really good for me. I thank you all for coming. And I'm going to hope that I see you all next week, same time, same place, 9 p.m. Or unless like I don't know if a later time work for y'all because it's early here. It's still like it's 6:45. So I don't know what y'all schedule is. I'm pretty open on Fridays. If y'all want to do later, we can do later. That way y'all can get like y'all kids to bed or what have you. Um, yeah. So as far as I know, same place, same time, 9 o'clock next Friday. Bring your journals. Um, do the work. I'm gonna be reminding y'all too. You gotta be reminding me. I seen a I seen a post the other day about, and it said like put write out random quotes from movies that you just randomly say. That's one of them. You gotta be reminding me. Poetic Justice. Is it Poetic Justice? No, it's not Poetic Justice. It's Friday. Friday. The girl that said that she looked like Janet Jackson or whatever. Whoever. I don't know who it was. It was somebody on the phone. Somebody's girlfriend. Day girl. I don't know. I'm sorry, y'all. All right. I love y'all, and I will see y'all next week. Bye. Bye.